From the mist-shrouded forests of ancient India to the towering pillars etched with timeless edicts, one name reverberates across centuries: Ashoka the Great. King, conqueror, philosopher, peacemaker. This is the story of a ruler whose journey from bloodshed to enlightenment would shape not only an empire but the very soul of a civilization. Born in the royal palace at Pataliputra, modern-day Patna, sometime around 304 BCE, Ashoka was a prince of the Maurya dynasty. His father, Bindusara, ruled over a sprawling empire forged by his grandfather, Chandragupta Maurya, whose own legend already cast a long shadow. The Mauryan Empire stretched across much of the Indian subcontinent, encompassing hundreds of cultures, tongues, and traditions. In this mosaic of power, intrigue, and ambition, young Ashoka entered the world. Ashoka's early years remain veiled in the uncertainties of time, but ancient chronicles whisper of a child both bright and intense. He was neither the eldest nor the obvious heir to the throne. His mother, Subhadranji, was a queen of modest origins, her status in the harem often contested by rivals. Yet Ashoka possessed a fire within, intelligence sharpened by curiosity, a sense of justice mingled with a quick temper, and above all, an indomitable will. As a boy, Ashoka was educated in the arts of statecraft, philosophy, and war. Tutors drilled him in the logic of Chanakya, the founder of the Mauryan dynasty. He learned Sanskrit and Prakrit, the languages of royalty and the people. He was trained to ride, hunt, and fight. More than anything, Ashoka grew up in the tense air of royal succession, where brothers vied for power and trust was a rare commodity. By the time Ashoka reached adolescence, he had earned a reputation for decisiveness and ruthlessness. His sharp mind impressed the court, but his temper bred fear among servants and rivals alike. His half-brothers, led by the crown prince Susima, saw in Ashoka not a sibling, but a threat. Aware of the dangers, Bindusara sent Ashoka to govern the distant province of Ujjain, a frontier post that would test both his ability and resolve. In Ujjain, Ashoka proved himself a capable administrator. He quelled local revolts and brought stability to a volatile region. The chronicles say that while suppressing a rebellion, Ashoka was wounded, and a local Buddhist healer nursed him back to health. It was here, amidst recovery, that Ashoka first encountered the teachings of Buddhism, lessons that would in time change the course of his life. Back in Pataliputra, the old King Bindusara's health began to fail. A fierce struggle erupted among the princes. The drama of succession turned violent, and legend has it that Ashoka returned to the capital with a small army, defeating his brothers and securing the throne in 268 BCE. Some accounts claim he killed as many as 99 brothers, sparing only his younger brother Tissa. The new king's ascent was drenched in blood, and yet, in the eyes of the court, stability had finally arrived. Ashoka's early reign was marked by ambition. The Mauryan Empire, vast as it was, could still be larger. To the east lay the prosperous and fiercely independent kingdom of Kalinga, located on the coast of present-day Orissa. Kalinga was a land of merchants, artisans, and warriors, a prize too great for any conqueror to ignore. Ashoka resolved to bring Kalinga under Mauryan rule. The year was 261 BCE. The Mauryan army, the mightiest in the world, advanced upon Kalinga. The invasion that followed was brutal. The Kalinga War, as it would come to be known, was fought with elephants, chariots, and foot soldiers. The two armies clashed on the banks of the Daya River. For months, the land echoed with screams and the thunder of war. When the dust settled, victory belonged to Ashoka. But the cost was unimaginable. According to Ashoka's own inscriptions, over 100,000 soldiers and civilians perished. Another 150,000 were deported or enslaved. The land was soaked with grief. The rivers ran red. Standing amid the carnage, Ashoka faced a reckoning. The devastation of Kalinga changed him. What had been a quest for glory now appeared as a nightmare of suffering. In the aftermath, The great conqueror was haunted by visions of the dying and the destitute. He began to question the very foundations of power. It was in this moment of remorse that Ashoka turned toward the path of Dharma, the law of righteousness. He sought solace in the teachings of the Buddha, whose message of compassion, nonviolence, and inner peace offered an antidote to the poison of conquest. In the quiet halls of the palace, Ashoka embraced Buddhism not only as a personal faith, but as a guide for governance. The transformation was profound. Ashoka renounced war and vowed never to take up arms for conquest again. Instead, he declared his new mission to serve the people, to uphold justice, to foster harmony among the faiths and cultures of his empire. He called himself Divananpriya Priyadarshi, beloved of the gods, he who looks upon all with kindness. Ashoka's embrace of Buddhism was not a retreat from the world, but an engagement with it on new terms. He convened councils of monks and scholars, supported the building of monasteries and stupas, and promoted the study of Buddhist scriptures. He sent emissaries and missionaries across India and beyond, to Sri Lanka, Nepal, Afghanistan, and even as far as Greece and Egypt, carrying the message of the Buddha to distant lands. But perhaps Ashoka's greatest legacy lies in the edicts he left behind. Carved on rocks and pillars throughout his empire, these edicts proclaimed the principles of Dharma: honesty, compassion, nonviolence, respect for all beings, and tolerance among faiths. They were written not in the language of kings, but in the language of the people, so that all could read and understand. The pillars of Ashoka stand to this day, silent sentinels scattered from the Himalayas to the southern seas. On their polished stone faces, the words of Ashoka endure: "All men are my children. As I desire for my own children that they may be provided with all welfare and happiness, both in this world and the next, so do I desire the same for all men." These were not mere words. Ashoka translated his ideals into action. He reformed the legal system to be more just, ended capital punishment for many crimes, and established hospitals for people and animals alike. He ordered wells to be dug, trees to be planted, rest houses to be built along roads for travelers and pilgrims. He advocated for the humane treatment of prisoners, for the fair distribution of resources for the education of women and the poor. Ashoka was no mere idealist. He understood the complexities of ruling an empire as vast and diverse as Maurya. He maintained an efficient bureaucracy, delegated authority to capable officials, and kept the loyalty of provincial governors. Yet he insisted that rulers serve the people, not the other way around. He often toured the empire in disguise, seeking to hear the complaints and concerns of commoners firsthand. Religion, under Ashoka, became a matter of conscience, not compulsion. He supported Buddhism but protected the rights of Jains, Hindus, Ajivikas, and other sects. One should not honor only one's own religion and condemn the religion of others. One edict reads, "But one should honor others' religions for this or that reason." In an age of dogma and orthodoxy, Ashoka championed tolerance and dialogue. Yet the path of Dharma was not without its challenges. Ashoka's reforms sometimes met resistance from conservative elements in court and society. The centralized bureaucracy, while efficient, could also breed corruption. Maintaining unity across such a vast land was a constant struggle. But Ashoka persisted, sustained by his vision of an ethical and harmonious empire. In his later years, Ashoka devoted himself increasingly to the propagation of Buddhism. The Third Buddhist Council, held in Pataliputra during his reign, helped clarify doctrine and dispatch new waves of missionaries. The emperor's own son, Mahinda, and daughter, Sanghamitta, famously carried Buddhism to Sri Lanka, where it would take root and flourish. As Ashoka aged, he endured personal losses. His beloved queen, Asandhimitra, passed away. Family quarrels and intrigues returned. The unity of the royal house was never secure. Nevertheless, Ashoka pressed on, guided by the inner light that had transformed a conqueror into a sage. In 232 BCE, after nearly 4 decades on the throne, Ashoka breathed his last. The chronicles tell of a somber passing, the end of an era. His successors would struggle to maintain the vast Mauryan Empire, and within 50 years it would fragment and fall. But the legacy of Ashoka would prove far more enduring than the boundaries of kingdoms. Centuries after his death, the memory of Ashoka faded. His pillars stood forgotten in the jungles, his edicts buried under the dust of time. The Mauryan capital at Pataliputra was swallowed by the earth. The name Ashoka survived in the legends of Buddhist monks and the folklore of distant lands. It was not until the 19th century, when British archaeologists and Indian scholars rediscovered the inscriptions, that the world awakened again to the grandeur of Ashoka's vision. The discovery of the lion capital of Sarnath, the same lion that now crowns the modern Indian Republic, brought his ideals full circle, from ancient glory to contemporary inspiration. Today, Ashoka the Great stands not only as a symbol of India's past, but as a beacon for the world. In an age of war and violence, he chose peace. In a time of absolute power, he chose humility. His edicts, carved in stone and echoed in the hearts of millions, remain as relevant now as they were 2 millennia ago. The arc of his life, from warrior prince to emperor of peace, reminds us that even the mightiest conquerors are ultimately judged not by the lands they win, but by the hearts they heal. Ashoka's journey was never just his own. It was the journey of a civilization wrestling with the meaning of power, the cost of violence, and the possibilities of compassion. In his story, we glimpse the struggles of all humankind, the darkness of ambition, the pain of remorse, and the redemptive power of mercy. This is Ashoka's gift to the world, the lesson that true greatness lies not in the conquest of others, but in the conquest of oneself. That even the hardest heart can change. That the light of wisdom, once kindled, can illuminate the path for generations yet to come. From the ancient stones of India to the hearts of billions, Ashoka the Great endures, a testament to the timeless power of transformation and the enduring hope for peace. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from suffering. May the spirit of Ashoka inspire us now and always to build a world of justice, kindness, and peace.